Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly tip. This week we are going to be discussing nutrition, and my goal is just to simplify nutrition as much as possible. There's a lot of conflicting information out there that you might get online or hear from other people. So I'm going to break down the macronutrients, protein, fats and carbohydrates, and how they can fit around your CrossFit training, high rocks training, whatever type of training you are doing, and you can simplify for yourself and help that fit your lifestyle as well. So let's get into it.
This is where I always start, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, whatever needs to happen, performance, for you to perform at your best, protein is going to be your number one thing. So the building block, this literally helps us repair muscles and recover after workout. So you need enough protein, and I'd recommend getting it in every single meal if possible. Source of protein, there's a lot here: chicken, fish, eggs, tofu, Greek yogurt, protein shakes. Protein shakes, yes, they are great. It's a question I get a lot. If you can, go for real foods first, save the protein shakes for later. But if you need to grab something on the go, protein shake is absolutely fine as well. Timing for protein every meal, especially post-workout, that's when it's going to matter the most. You can still have it in your pre-workout meal, but you're going to get a little bit more out of carbohydrates, which we'll get on to next. And the amount of protein to eat, you can do this math by yourself: 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilos of body weight. So get your body weight multiplied by this number that you see here, 1.6 to 2.2, and have at it. See where you can get to on that scale. I would say start with the 1.6. A lot of people are going to be aiming to get over 100 grams of protein a day if you haven't really tracked it before. But if you've done this before and you have an idea and you do eat a lot of protein already, you can go as far as 2.2, which is a lot of protein, but it's a good thing to aim for as well. Carbohydrates, these give us energy. So when we're doing CrossFit, when we're doing high rocks, these are intense efforts all the time. You need enough carbohydrates and the right amount of carbohydrates and at the right time to make sure that you get the best out of them and the best out of your training. Because if you're simply not eating enough carbohydrates, you cannot perform at your best. Source of carbohydrates, we got rice, potatoes, oats, fruits, whole grains. We have more complex carbohydrates, they would be the rice, potatoes and oats. And then we have more fast acting carbohydrates, which are more like fruits and stuff like that as well. So timing, we need to eat them before the workout, and we can also eat them after our workout. Just to keep it really simple, before and after is really good with carbohydrates. They're not going to harm your workout, they're not going to take away from your gains after the workout either. So either side of the workout, but I would say pre-workout is the most important. Amount, it is based on your training intensity. If you train 2-3 hours a day, you're obviously going to need more carbohydrates, and that's going to be based on your body weight as well. But let's say just for a normal person trains 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week, this is going to be a serving of between 50 and 60 carbohydrates in a meal, at least, if not more. So that's where you could start, and you can start by measuring out stuff if you needed to and seeing how much carbohydrates is in that. But a lot of this is going to be trial and error, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, but you need to make sure you're eating enough so you feel good when you're exercising as well. Fat. So fat is a long-lasting fuel. You can think of carbohydrates as we get it and it burns pretty fast with exercise, whereas fat will be there a little bit longer. It's just the way it is. It has high satiety as well. It means it keeps you fuller for longer. The purpose, it supports more endurance and your overall energy needs. It also is, most important for your brain functions and also for your hormones. So if you're not eating enough fat, good source of fat, it can affect your hormones a little bit. So the source of fat would be like avocado, nuts, seeds, any type of really good olive oil, and fatty fish. You can also get, if you don't eat fish, you can get an omega-3 6 supplement if needed. But again, let's prioritize whole foods and see if we can get it from there if possible. Timing, including in meals, we're avoiding large amounts before workouts. The reason for this is it's harder to digest. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing to have it, but it just means that you don't want to be eating 3 avocados before you go do a CrossFit session. You're not going to digest that fast enough. It's going to be very hard for you then to feel like, I can move fast, move weight fast, run fast, just because it's harder to digest. Carbohydrates and protein will digest a lot faster. The amount, probably out of all the calories eaten a day, I would say somewhere between 20 and 35%. That's going to do the job for you in terms of the amount of fat you actually need if it's from those sources. But you don't need to overthink it on the fat. Once you're getting it a little bit in every meal, same as you're getting a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs in every meal, and you got a balanced plate, then you are onto a winner.